Gentlemen, what is going on today? My name is Ryan Mickler. I'm the host and the founder of the Order of Man podcast and movement. Welcome here and welcome back. And speaking of being back, I am back. I've been out of town for about a week. I was hunting in Minnesota on a hunt that I go on every year for the past 4 years now. And finally, I was able to put down a big, mature buck. You guys can go check that out at my Instagram account at Ryan Mickler and see. Had a great experience out there on the hunt, had a great experience with good friends I've known for years and years. And it's always good to be surrounded by the brotherhood and the camaraderie and the accountability and the jack and jaw and everything else that goes on at hunt camp. So I got back late last night, but I wanted to make sure that I got you guys a Friday field notes because at this point, we have not missed a single episode for about 6.5 years. So I'm not going to miss one just because I got back late and I'm tired. But I do have a quick message for you today. Some of the things that I've been thinking about as I got back home and I was driving into Portland, Maine, and then driving up about an hour and a half, 2 hours north from Portland, where I live. How incredible it is to live here in this state. So I wanted to talk with you about why we made this transition and this move here, and then help you shift maybe your mindset from the concept of what if. I think a lot of guys have this what if mindset, like, oh, what if I did this? What if I did that? Wouldn't it be nice? ... To let's find out, the let's find out mentality. So I'm going to explain that in a minute. Before I do, let me just share with you a very quick announcement from my friends, our podcast sponsors, Origin. These guys make jiu-jitsu gis, rash guards, lifestyle apparel. I just picked up, and I would highly recommend this to you guys, a brand new pair of Origin Lincoln boots. These things are incredible. I've had the Bison boot. Now I have the Oxblood Lincoln boot in my collection of Origin boots. And you guys need to check it out as well. It's getting to be boot season. You need denims. They got denim. You need lifestyle apparel. You need hoodies. You need jackets. You need denim. I think I already said denim. Boots, all that kind of stuff. Go check it out. All right. OriginUSA.com. OriginUSA.com. And when you get those brand new pair of boots, which you're going to love, make sure you use the code ORDER, ORDER, at checkout for a discount. Because you're going to buy boots anyways. You're going to buy jeans anyways. Get the discount, save some money, support 100% made and sourced in America without compromise. OriginUSA.com. All right, guys, let's talk about this mentality shift. So in June, July, somewhere right in there of 2019, my wife and I had made the decision over thinking about it for months and months and months about moving from Southern Utah to Maine. And in July of 2019, we decided to pull the trigger and we moved our family out here. When I say our family, I'm talking about my wife, myself, and then our 4 children and our 2 dogs. We moved ourselves out here. And guys, I fully at the time anticipated and expected that we would live out here for 2 or 3 or 4 years tops, and then move back to Utah with some cool experiences, with an opportunity to get closer to each other. But I am amazed at how quickly Maine became home for us. I love it here. You know, my wife loves it here. My children love it here. And we've had an incredible time. We've gotten closer together. We've taken some risks and gone on some adventures, and we've done some amazing things. And it got me thinking as I drove home last night from being out of state for about a week, what other opportunities I've missed, what other chances that, I could have taken, but I let fear dictate that, or I let my rationality, maybe even being overly rational at times, keep myself from doing these big things. I've talked with so many people who have said to me, Ryan, I wish I could move. I wish I could do that. I wish I could leave and go to this other place. But usually what they say when they say that is, well, but I've got responsibilities. I've got obligations. I've got friends. I've got this. I've got that. Well, dude, I had that same stuff. I had a job. I had obligations. I had responsibilities. I had to pull my kids from school. We had to find renters for our home. We had to leave friends. Like, we had to do all that stuff too. You weren't the only one who has those things. And if you think you are, then that's just a little bit of a little bit of arrogance, believing that, your situation is different. Guys, your situation is no different than mine. There might be nuances to our situation, but generally speaking, we're all the same. We all have obligations and responsibilities, but you know what? I decided to make this shift years ago from this what if mentality. And how many of you have said, what if, what if I chased that job? What if I went on that adventure? What if I went on that hunt? What if I tried this new hobby or this interest or activity? And then it's immediately met with, well, I have this and I have that, and I have a job and I have responsibilities and I have bills. And what about my kids? And what if this and what if that? I'm telling you right now, just based on my last couple of years of experience and shifting from that what if mentality to the let's find out mentality. Guys, life is short. I was walking around the field with my son. This was last year. And I vividly remember this. I was walking with him and it was so real at the time. And I just thought, at 39 years old last year, 40 years old this year, I'm getting older and time is going faster. And I'm if I lived a life expectancy, I'm halfway through my life, maybe even a little bit more than halfway through my life at this point. And I'll be damned if I'm going to spend my life, the rest of my life, thinking about what could have been, what opportunities could have presented themselves, what incredible things could have taken place had I only taken a shot. And I got thinking about this a little bit too on our hunt. We hunt with a bunch of guys, and I've been hunting there at this place in Minnesota for the past 4 years. And there's shots that I've taken that I've missed. There's shots that I think I should have, looking back, taken that I didn't. And this what if scenario plays in my mind, and it's horrible. I hate it. I despise it. I don't want to know what if. I don't want to think about what if. What I want to know is let's find out. Let's throw all the chips on the table. Let's take a rip and let's actually find out if moving across the country or taking that new job or asking that woman on a date or doing any number of things that you guys think about on a daily basis, let's find out if it's going to play out. Guys, you aren't performing brain surgery. If you decide to move across the country because you have the inclination to do so and your wife's on board and you can make it work, like, why wouldn't you find out? What's the worst that can happen? You're miserable for a couple of years. You decide you don't like it. And so you move back. Damn. That's worst case scenario. And some of you guys are playing so small in life and you're playing not to lose that you aren't willing to throw it all on the table and let it ride. And what is the upside of doing that? That you create meaning and significance in your life, that you develop deeper and closer relationships with your family, that you gain new friends, that you have new experiences, that you learn more than you ever could have in your stagnant, stale state. That's the upside. And the downside is you don't like it. And so you move home. Guys, look, I'm not going to say it this way, but I will say it this way. And so it's a cost benefit analysis. Right? I'm actually talking kind of about emotion right now, but if you want to just take the emotional side of things and say, let's look at the cost benefit analysis, the downside risk of uprooting your family and moving across the country is relatively low in the grand scheme of things. It is. You're going to be out, some money, some time, some headache, some heartache, maybe. But what's the upside potential? Man, unlimited. What new experiences are you going to have? What new friendships are you going to develop? What new hobbies and skill sets are you going to learn? It's incalculable. And all you guys are playing it safe, thinking, well, I have an obligation and I have a family and I have responsibilities and I have this and I have that. Dude, you know how many people are hiring across this country? Some of you are really worried about a job. You could go get a job this afternoon if you needed to. There's 8 to 10 million jobs open right now. And you're like, well, what if I can't find a job? Instead of that, think about this. What if you live your life in mediocrity and then you're sitting there on your deathbed and you're about to die? And what are you thinking about? Not all the things that you did, but all the things that you wish you could have done. And all you guys are scared and afraid, just like everybody, just like me, man. I had reservations. I remember the first week we moved here. I was like, I remember vividly. My wife and I were walking in that main field of ours, and we were talking, and I said, "Hun, did we make the right decision?" And she said, "I don't know." She was just as nervous, just as scared. But we didn't retreat. We didn't withdraw. We didn't hide and cower in fear. We doubled down. And we decided to embed ourselves in the community. And we decided to meet people. We decided to go to church. We decided to get involved in activities. We decided to go to the gym. We decided to get our kids involved in sports. We decided to learn new hobbies and skills and things that weren't available to us before. And you know how quickly that doubt and hesitation and fear dissipated almost instantaneously, because we didn't let that bullshit get in the way of us going out and doing something great with our lives. And some of you guys are playing in mediocrity. You're complacent. You're conforming. You're mediocre. You're average. You know you're destined for more. How many of you feel that way? Honestly, answer that question, because I've had countless conversations with family members and friends about being destined for more. Well, destiny only comes to those who are willing to act upon it. Nothing's going to happen to you. You have to go act upon the world. You have to assert yourself. You have to stake your claim. I mean, imagine that for a second. Your pioneer ancestors literally traveled from the East Coast to the West Coast, and they said, I'm going to stake my claim right here. And they put a stake or a rock in the ground, and then they went and chopped down trees. And then they built a cabin, and then they brought in livestock, and then they planted a seed that turned into a garden to feed their family. And they enlisted other people, community members, to come in, and they built cities. They built communities first, which turned into towns, which turned into cities, which turned into what you see in this country. And those people have balls. Do you? Do you have the balls to do it? Or is it, I'm nervous, I'm afraid, I'm scared. What if things happen? Yeah, things will happen. Good things and some negative things that you'll learn from and grow from and become better. I'm so tired of the mediocrity and the conformity and the complacency and the loser bullshit that so many men who are following quote unquote order of man are ascribing to. Are you a man? What did your ancestors do? They left the safety and the warmth of the cave and they went out to kill the woolly mammoth, the saber-toothed tiger, because that was their job and their responsibility. And every day they went out, they risked death, literal death. And all I'm asking you to do is to go to the gym tonight, to pursue jujitsu, to make a move across the country, to drive your nice, brand new vehicle that has climate control in it, will get you somewhere in 4 hours what it took maybe 40 days to do 150 years ago. And you're telling me it's hard? It's not hard, guys. Hard is relative. You've made it too easy on yourself. And now you're playing not to lose, right? You're ahead on the scoreboard, 7 points, 14 points, and you think, man, I just got to maintain this lead. And so what do? You do the dumb shit that isn't going to help you win, that didn't get you to that point. It will actually create a loss for you. So I want you to shift your mindset. And I hope this podcast fires you up enough to do it. From, well, what if all this bad stuff happens? Some of it will. And you'll learn and you'll grow and you'll adapt and you'll get better. Shift from the what if mindset to the let's find out. Let's put it to the test. Let's really see how far I can take this. Let's put it all on the table and let it ride. That's the mentality of winners. What if is the mentality of losers. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, Ryan, I have never been successful in life and I don't know what yes, that's a loser mentality. And some of you are going to be upset about that. And some of you are going to be offended by that. And some of you, that's going to sting to your core and it's going to hurt your heart. And it should. because you don't want to be a loser. You want to be a winner. So what do winners do? They put it all on the line. They develop the skill set. They don't make stupid decisions, of course, but they pull it all on the line. They develop that skill set. They hone their craft. They get better. They look for inefficiencies and deficiencies in their life, and they shore those areas up, and they acquire the assets, and they acquire this skill set, and then they go out and they act and they do big things. How many of you guys are wishing that you were like Joe Rogan or Elon Musk or Jordan Peterson or maybe even me? Oh man, I wish I had that. You can have it. But you got to shift from the what if mentality to the let's find out. Men are designed to take calculated risks, even more so than women. We are uniquely hardwired to go out and risk in order to provide for ourselves and the people that we care about. And I want you to take more risks. I want you to put it all on the line. I want you to put your nuts on the chopping block, and I want you to get after it, because of what I think you'll find is that there's a world of opportunity and availability and growth and learning and prosperity and fulfillment. And all of that is hiding on the other side of the hill that you're not willing to look at because you're afraid and you're scared. And I get it. I understand. But get over yourself and make some moves. All right, guys, that's all I've got. I'm going to go spend some time with my family today. I've been gone for a week. I can hear my kids playing in the background. Maybe you can too. I'm going to go do Legos, and my son's out on the trail camera putting cards in the trail cams. He does that stuff way more than I do. But these are the experiences and the memories that we've been able to create over the past 2.5 years, because I decided to move from, well, what if this goes wrong and what if that goes wrong, to let's find out. And I've been pleasantly surprised with the outcome. All right, guys, we'll be back next week. Until then, go out there, take action, move to that let's find out mentality, and become the man you are meant to be.